Hey, Tony Gas is here, getting ready to leave the office, 9:30 p.m. and headed home. So I figure I'll shoot me a video while I'm closing up in here and get this here. So y'all forgive me, cause moving around, I might have to take me a couple trips to the car. I got to go next door and lock my other office or cut my light out in my other office so my light bill ain't too high. But wanting to pop on here, and I still see, a lot going on. A lot of y'all sent me a lot of stuff, and we're gonna be touching on this stuff. Now, I want to tell y'all something now, because when you get into spiritual warfare, one of the things that I'm gonna do is I activate. Like me, I activate. Like I am an activator. You hear me? When it comes to that spiritual warfare, I I go to a different level in my talks with the Lord, and in doing so, it really puts me in a place and in a space to where I'm hearing from the Lord on another level. And so what happens with that is I'm a lot more unfiltered. And in being unfiltered, it's going to be more offensive. So I'm going to help y'all understand something. How with YouTube, the way that it works is it counts 28 days. And it'll tell you over 28 days your numbers, how many views you've gotten, how many subscribers you've gotten, stuff like that, how much money that you anticipate to make. And it'll show you them 28 days. And normally, now there was a month when I did love and relationship topics, and it was like hot button topics, like popular topics. It was probably a few months ago. And I gained I think it said 20,000 subscribers. And then after that, the next month, it probably was like 8,000 or whatever. In growth time, you might average 14, 15, you might average 10 to 15,000 subscribers a month. Right now, I don't know if it's messed up, because sometimes it'll mess up and then they'll come back and be like, oh, we fixed the subscriber thing. But right now it said that my subscribers is -4, meaning that I lost 4. But what that mean is, it don't mean that I lost 4. It means that, like, if I gained 1,000, but I lost 1,004. So I could have lost 1,004, not 4. And so, and that is due to me being very real on the Charlie Kirk situation and these other situations. Because what happens is, like, if I have, 10% of my subscribers may be Caucasian, and if they really like Charlie Kirk, and then they hear me say that, this and that about how I feel about his message, they may say, oh, you bashing our king. You bashing the person we love. So I'm unfollowing you, Negro. And boom. Same thing with some black people. Some black people are Charlie Kirk fans. And because he said Jesus. So because he said Jesus, some Christians think that if somebody has a platform and they say Jesus, that means that they're automatically called by God. And that's not always the case. And I realized that. And if we really think and we use our brain, we'll realize that. We'll understand that if we really think. Because think about how many pastors there are that don't live right, that cheat and do all kind of stuff. Now this might cut off if it's on the Bluetooth. It hook up to the Bluetooth. Let me go cut my light off first, just in case. And so that right there happens, and we'll take and see people who saying Jesus. You know, they saying Jesus, 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 and boom, they ain't living right. They ain't doing the right thing. So I'm aware of that, but some people are not aware of that. And so I say that to say it's about to get real. It's about to get real because stuff start to shrink. You know, stuff start to shrink in this here situation. Stuff start to shrink to where it gets you get to the core believers, where you're gonna have the core believers, the people who believe. That's all you're gonna have. You're not gonna have the riffraff. You're not gonna have the extra. But guess what? Let me tell y'all what happened. Today, I'm sitting there. You know, I have a year coaching program. And that program is like an all-inclusive program. It's coaching. It's an hour a month of coaching. It's unlimited text message. It's business development from concept to creation. And it's unlimited promotion of my client's business to help them earn back their investment that they made into the consulting with me for that year or year plus, because you get 16 hours of consulting. So the consulting with me, and also what they spent on their business, investing in their business. So that program is $7,500 to $10,000 a year. And I had a client in United Arab Emirates, UAE, sign up for that program, but was still, making payments, and ended up converting it, instead of from doing the program, just ended up converting it to sessions at my discounted rate of $250, which is 50% off my standard market rate, which is $500 an hour, and for consulting, coaching and consulting. Well, that client is in a Muslim country. She reached out to me today for a session, and she has converted to Christianity. And she told me and explained to me how she knows that Christ is real. And she explained her experience of her conversion, and how when she was exploring with New Age and law of attraction and all the different stuff, she had no attacks. But in her seeking Christ, she started going through a lot of demonic attacks at night, in dreams, just in her room, going through a lot of demonic attacks, trying to prevent her from leaving Islam and becoming a Christian. And she didn't feel right. She didn't feel complete. She didn't feel a peace in Islam, and she was struggling with her faith very deeply. And she did this on her own. And she said she just kept saying, God, find me. God, find me. God, find me. And she said Jesus is who found her. And she said she converted. And she has never felt this happy, this much peace. Not happy, but this much peace. And she had reached out to me. And our time difference, so one of us is gonna be in the morning, like in the wee hours of the morning when we talk, and it happened to be like maybe 7 p.m. my time, and so it was like about 7 or 8. Yeah, I think about 7, and so it was going on like 3 a.m. her time, and we had that conversation. And I say that to say, like, it's been so many people that have reached out to me and said that because of our talks on here, that they have started reading their Bible again. They've started praying again. They rededicated their life to Christ, or they came to Christ. And I've been working with people who are of other religions, and they've been going through a lot of spiritual warfare because they're talking to a Christian, and their religion doesn't want to let the demons that's holding them in what they believe or were born into and taught to believe, got them going through a lot of warfare, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically. And they really at that war with that. But one thing about it that people cannot deny is the peace and the presence of Christ. Because most of y'all on here that's watching this video, you watch me, you either watch me alone, or you may watch me and one other person or two other people, as far as to get insight from. And those people typically are Christian people. And you see our clarity, you see our peace, you see our discernment, you see our delivery, and it all comes from Christ. And you see that without us being deranged and irate and losing it. And so I say that to say the evidence is there. It's there. And then the ingenuity and the creativity, the innovation, and what God does through us, be it the coaching programs, the courses, the conferences, just the ideas, the scripted project that we coming out with, the unscripted project that we coming out with. It's like God is really doing a thing and gonna keep doing it and continue to build it. I'm going on the Hardly Initiated, not necessarily, it'll be on their platform, but we're doing it for McDonald's Gospel Explosion. And they reached out to me, and I told them, I said, man, I told my audience I wasn't going to come back on y'all's show because of the foolishness that y'all did last time. I said, but I understand that y'all trying to grow and y'all trying to change, and I believe in grace because I serve Christ. And I talked to Tyshawn, that's the one with the bald head, and he got married. And so now he part of the club, and I'm proud of him for getting married and for living the right way and doing the right thing. And so I want to go on there to show him, like, hey, you part of the brotherhood now. And I'm hoping we could get his co-host to help him find his wife and get married here soon, within the next few years. And so they got called on by McDonald's, by the person who do the Gospel Explosion, and they was trying to interview this person and that person, and it was falling through. They already knew I don't do interviews and stuff like that, so that he didn't reach out to me, because I hadn't told him the last few times he reached out that I don't do interviews no more. But after everything fell through, he went ahead and took a chance, and I told him, like, try to find somebody else. But if you can't find nobody else, at my brand size or larger, then just let me know and I'll look out for y'all. I'll come through so that you have somebody and you're able to take the opportunity. And then I thought about that too. It's like the Lord said in my spirit, okay, this is a gospel explosion. It's a different environment. They already know how you feel and that you're not with the games and the foolishness. The topic is, family and legacy and stuff like that. So there's no messiness. And I don't want nobody else who is not building family and community and legacy to be on there spewing nonsense. So I gotta occupy space. And so I'm going on there. They selling tickets. I think they posted the tickets. So if you in the Georgia area, I'll be there Sunday. I think my interview is 2 p.m. And they're going to have a bunch of other interviews, like with different podcasts and different events. And they're going to have gospel artists performing. And so it'll probably be a good outing anyways. And it's like, if all of y'all can go to the Invest Fest, then you could definitely do the gospel explosion. I think that's what it's called. And so I'll be doing that Sunday, and it's about, enlarging territory for the kingdom. And them brothers there, because they come into this space, and they started interviewing, they realized that it was all the Christians had all the motion. So they just, by default, everybody they wanted to interview turned out to be a Christian. And they were not religious people. Like, they done seen too many frauds, too many hypocrites, too much. So they weren't really into it like that. But after hearing so many testimonies, they started to, they gave their life to Christ. They joined a Bible study. They started studying the Bible. Like, man, what's going on? What am I missing? Like, all of these smart, gifted, talented, dynamic people can't all be drunk on Kool-Aid. It gotta be some substance to this Jesus Christ, because everybody we done brought on here except Umar Johnson is talking about Jesus Christ. And everybody talking about Jesus Christ, although we struggle and we go through financially and everything like that, God grace us through those seasons, and we not out here panhandling like Umar with that Pan-African panhandling. The Christians, we find a way. Like, the Lord bless us. He give us a way. He make a way out of no way. To where we ain't got to have, dirt on our face and out here, licking boots and groveling. And they start to see that power of Christ. They start to see the realness of Christ. And they want part of that. They want to be in the number. And so them young men is Christian and in Bible study and trying to grow and change their life. And they know what I'm on, what I stand on, what I'm about. And so we're gonna have us a good little conversation, and I'm gonna pray that the Lord move and He bless us. But I done made it home. Now when I cut off the call, it may cut off my phone. So if it do, God bless you. All the important links is in the description. Shout out to my new life coach today, who signed up for the life coach certification program. God bless you. Glad to have you. We had another life coach sign up for the life coach certification program last week, I think. God bless you as well. We raising up some dynamic, amazing coaches. So I'm happy and excited about that. And what I'm trying to do is bring some new and better content. So you'll see the link in the description for the scripted film project that I'm working on. Would love your support on that as we continue to build. Really appreciate you. And then we're gonna do the unscripted one, and we're gonna keep grinding. So thank you for your support. God bless you. I'm a little tired right now, so y'all forgive me for being a little subdued. Been a long day. But God bless you, and we'll talk soon.